The UK and the United States have so many things in common. They have a lot of things in common. We both have houses. We both speak English most of the times, a lot of the times. We both like doing things that involve speaking English. We love that.
Yeah, it's great.
We love it, you know? We say, we both kind of destroy it in our own way. They say caramel, we say caramel, but we say bottle of water. And they say
a bottle of water.
Yeah.
Which is, we all have our differences, and that's what we're here to celebrate. We're not here to make fun. We're here to celebrate our differences. But we want to know how many differences and what type of differences we actually have. If you're new here, I am Rich TRIPPIN.
And I'm Tiffany.
And if you don't know us, we are a couple that love to go to the UK and explore everything about it, the culture and everything. And you're saying, why is this called Tripping Through Adventures when you're sitting in a chair? Well, we do go on adventures. Those are right here above us. It might not have showed up for you. New thing, if you guys like this video, hit the like button, hit hype button. I'm trying to get through new things because there's a lot of new things. The video we're watching today is a video by dear old Blighty, and it is the 21 things that are normal in Britain but nowhere else. So the rest of the world, this is what separates them from us, but not like that. Don't take it like, this is something that, you know, maybe us as Americans, we're gonna find weird. Maybe you are Norwegian watching this video, and maybe you're gonna think it's weird, and we're both gonna point and laugh together, or they're gonna point and laugh at us and be like, how come you don't do it? Or we're gonna say, how come we don't do it?
We don't know.
We don't know. But one thing we do know is these are our Patreons that help us and support us, and our YouTube members that help us with our charities and helping this process go forward. That being said, thank you guys.
You are the best.
Let's watch the video.
Let's start with perhaps our greatest cultural export that nobody actually wants, the British queue. While other nations view standing in line as a necessary evil, we've elevated it to an art form worthy of Olympic recognition. The unspoken rules are more complex than cricket regulations. Maintain precisely arm's length between yourself and the person ahead. Never make eye contact, and heaven forbid you should accidentally skip ahead. That's grounds for social exile. What visitors don't realise is that queue jumping triggers a uniquely British response. We won't confront you directly, that would be terribly uncouth. Instead, you'll receive a symphony of passive-aggressive tutting, theatrical sighing, and muttered comments about some people having no manners. Studies show British people would rather miss appointments than appear to push ahead in a queue. It's not about efficiency, it's about maintaining the social fabric that prevents complete anarchy.
Okay, there's a certain amount of social peer pressure that we need in this country about waiting in line, because people in this country is nuts when it comes to queues, aren't they?
They can't stand it.
Yeah, we don't call them queues, we call them lines. Waiting in line.
I like the way queue sounds better.
Well, yeah, it makes more sense because a queue can be any shape. A line is like this, and most lines,
straight.
yeah, you're always going around curves and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. But Americans, most Americans, like, it has to be obvious that there is a line. Like at a theme park, obviously we're in a line. But like Disney World, Disney adults are always trying to cut ahead.
Yeah, they always cut us off, and they always want to touch my children when they try to cut us off or when they stand behind us. Yeah,
and there's always, for some reason, it brings out like this self-importance thing. And they're like, can I just squeeze ahead of you? Or like that one person that's always like this right here, and you're like, sit still, there's nothing you can do.
Yeah.
It's gonna go as fast as it's gonna go.
Or how they want to get so close that they constantly are slightly touching your back or like slightly bumping
see that
into
arm's length
you.
thing? See that arm's length thing? That's a thing.
Yeah.
I wish that was more of a thing.
Yeah, they want to breathe down your neck.
Yeah. Especially like when because we have these conveyors at the cashier. You guys probably have in the grocery store too, right? And you'll be putting your stuff in, and there'll be this much room, and you think a normal person sitting in a buggy, it's not gonna fall. What do you think they do? They reach up and they grab that little separator thing, and they put two things in. What did you do there?
Yeah.
What did you? I don't know. We need you guys to come over here and fix that for us.
Moving swiftly on to our favorite conversation starter, the weather. It's not just small talk, it's our cultural glue. The Met Office website receives over 10 million daily visits. Here's what outsiders don't grasp. British weather conversation isn't about meteorology. When we say bit nippy today, we're establishing social connection and maintaining crucial emotional distance. Social researchers estimate the average Brit has 3 to 4 weather conversations daily. The phrase, lovely weather for ducks, has been used continuously since 1846, proving even our weather cliches have heritage status. This meteorological obsession provides safe conversational territory in our emotionally repressed nation.
So that's true in America, depending on where you're at. So I would say all the Northeast, that's 100% true. Out West, that's true. In the South, that is literally saying, when you say, nice weather today, ain't it? They are going to look up, and that's you basically saying, tell me your life story.
Yeah.
Because you'll get somebody that it is nice out here today. You know, last week I took my granddaughter down here, and then about 20 minutes later, you're like, her husband worked 20 years at a coal factory. He died just last week. They're in a major argument between who's going to get the money and who gets what position and what. And all you did was ask the weather. All you did was made a comment on the weather. So it really depends on where you're at in this country, if that's a thing. But that is a thing in this country.
If you don't want someone's life story, then don't say anything about anything, especially the weather in the South, because that's just, you just opened a can of worms you might not want.
Now then, let's address the elephant in every British living room, our relationship with tea. Every British home contains at least one kettle, and the National Grid employs staff specifically to manage electricity surges during commercial breaks when millions simultaneously brew up. This TV pickup phenomenon peaks during Coronation Street and major football matches. But here's the controversial bit. Despite consuming 165 million cups daily nationally, we're often terrible at making tea properly. Most Brits commit cardinal sins like squeezing the tea bag, releases bitter tannins, or using water below 100 degrees Celsius. The eternal milk first versus milk last debate actually has scientific merit. Originally, milk first protected delicate bone china from cracking. Today, it's purely tribal. Yorkshire tea versus PG Tips loyalty runs deeper than football allegiances. We've turned a simple beverage into a complex social ritual with more rules than parliamentary procedure, and we wouldn't have it any other way. If you're finding these peculiarities as fascinatingly bizarre as we do, make sure... Speaking of controversial, let's tackle beans on toast. To international horror, we consider this a proper meal. Heinz dominates with 50% market share, selling 2 million tins daily. The genius lies in surprising nutritional balance: protein, fiber, complex carbohydrates requiring zero culinary skill. During World War II rationing, it became our staple. Preparation matters intensely. Proper butter, never margarine. Beans heated slowly, never microwaved. Eternal debate over cheese on top. Worcestershire sauce divides households. Nutritionists reluctantly admit it's reasonably healthy, though preferring we didn't eat it multiple times weekly. Yet here we are, proud of our beige dinner.
Okay, so I would agree that that's not part of a typical American breakfast, but what you guys call just Heinz beans, we call pork and beans over here. And that tends to find its way, the tins of the pork and beans tends to find their way on breakfast tables randomly throughout America. Has your family ever had breakfast with pork and beans?
Yes.
My family would have breakfast with pork and beans, but the breakfast itself wouldn't be a full English. It'd be our standard breakfast. But pork and beans, at least in our two families, was kind of had a presence there. So this sure as hell hasn't.
While we're horrifying food critics, let's discuss the chip butty, a sandwich filled with chips. That's fries to you Americans. Yes, it's carbohydrates wrapped in more carbohydrates, and we're absolutely fine with that. The North-South divide reveals itself here. Northerners demand proper thick-cut chip shop chips with white bread and real butter, while Southerners might dare suggest oven chips in a bap. The key is the contrast. Crispy exterior, fluffy interior chips against soft, butter-soaked bread. It's architectural engineering meets guilty pleasure. Originated in the Black Country in the 1800s as cheap millworker food, it's now served in gastropubs for £8.50.
Why?
The variation names are regional poetry: chip balm, chip bap, chip cob, peace and chips. Scientists studying comfort food psychology found chip butties trigger similar pleasure responses.
Why do you have so many scientists involved in this? Yeah, first of all,
There's a lot.
If your government is running out of money, have the scientists stop studying chip sandwiches. I feel
leave that
in
out.
The tea, just let's get rid of that one. I feel like that's
Also, I want to eat one of those. They look great.
no. Okay, nobody's arguing that it doesn't look good, but why? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, obviously, that's going to be good. You know what I mean?
Which also, I was going to ask a question at the end of this video
Are you guys all potheads?
about, well, that wasn't my question.
That's a good question.
I was going to ask them what is some healthy snacks that they feed their children.
Chip buddies.
And apparently that's one of them. So I think I take my question back.
Yeah. Yeah, never mind.
Never mind.
Here's where things get properly mental. Separate hot and cold taps. While the world enjoys mixed water at pleasant temperatures, we're either scalding or freezing our hands. The reason dates to Victorian plumbing, when hot water tanks harboured bacteria, so separation prevented contamination. But we still install them in new builds.
Oh.
Building regulations changed in 1965, allowing mixer taps, yet architects insist on period features. The splash and dash technique of rapidly alternating hands has become peculiarly British. Hotels installing mixer taps receive complaints from elderly Brits. We'd rather suffer third-degree burns than admit other countries have a point.
Yeah, you can adjust the temperature.
The local pub isn't merely where we drink, it's our community centre, unofficial therapy session and dog socialisation club rolled into one. With names like the Slaughtered Lamb or the Swan and Piedo, actually exists in Somerset. They sound terrifying but serve as cosy sanctuaries. Britain has approximately 47,000 pubs, though we're losing about 400 annually to closure.
Wow.
The oldest, Ye Old Fighting Cocks in St Albans, dates from 793 AD. Pub etiquette is Byzantine. Rounds must be remembered perfectly. Anyone checking their phone buys next, and there's an unspoken seating hierarchy. The same regulars have occupied the same stools since the miners' strike. Dogs often receive better service than humans. Modern pubs evolved into gastropubs, serving deconstructed shepherd's pie for £22. Yet the best ones still have crisp packets behind the bar from 1994. They're irreplaceable social infrastructure disguised as drinking establishments.
Bars are not considered normal in the United States. They are not a pub. Like a sports bar would be okay, but like drinking has such a taboo on it, I would say, in the United States, that pubs are not a thing as much. Like, not saying that you're a bad person if you go to a bar, I don't think that. But there is a certain idea of like that comment, oh, you're going to go sit in the bar all day. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like
it's always looked at as
as to where in the UK, it's like
thing.
Everybody goes to the pub. You know what I mean? But I think that it's more of a responsibility, and it's not the idea that like, so when you relate the pub bar to America, driving's heavily involved. A bar in the United Kingdom, you're probably walking there.
Yeah.
So the danger, or what's it called? Not saying that they're not fighting and stuff, but there's different types of weapons in the United States, different types of things happen. So that idea of a bar in itself is not a big
Overall, bars in America is just more of a trashy thing.
Yeah.
Where in the UK, it doesn't seem that way.
I've not been to one bar in America in, I don't know, 10 years. I've been to sports bars, but those are more like restaurants. It'd be more of a restaurant than a pub.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Pubs are more bars with food. and a sports bar is more food than a bar. So I've been to those, but I've been to way more pubs. I've been to bars. You just don't go to bars. Yeah.
Pubs are great.
Yeah, pubs are awesome.
But I hope they really don't let the dogs drink out of it.
Yeah, that was a little off.
That's gross.
Yeah.
Sunday roast remains our weekly ritual of controlled chaos. The military precision required to serve everything simultaneously hot could challenge air traffic control. Yorkshire puddings must rise properly. 1 egg per 35 grams flour. Roast potatoes need exact fluffiness. Parboiled, then roughed up. Meat must rest precisely 15 minutes. And gravy cannot be from granules. That's divorce territory. The pressure creates 62% of weekend family arguments, according to one survey. Traditional timing means eating at 3 p.m., ruining both lunch and dinner.
Yeah.
Regional variations cause wars. Yorkshire insists on puddings with everything. Lancashire adds red cabbage. The Welsh include cheese sauce on cauliflower. Vegetarian options emerged reluctantly. Nut roast remains an insult. The tradition stems from medieval times when serfs received weekly meat rations. Today it's about proving domestic competence while passive-aggressively commenting on Aunt Margaret's superior roasties. Nothing says family bonding like competitive...
If you're new here, we love Sunday roast. If I could take Sunday roast and bring it to the whole world,
Yeah, it's
no matter what,
amazing.
we love Sunday roast. This is the one I wanted to see.
The TV licence might be our most bewildering concept. We pay £159 yearly just to watch live television legally. Not cable, not Netflix, just the ability to receive broadcast signals. The BBC receives approximately £3.8 billion annually from licences. Enforcement involves detector vans that supposedly identify unlicensed viewing, though technical experts doubt their existence. TV licensing sends 100 million threatening letters annually using psychological warfare phrases like, "Will you be in on Thursday?" Over 70s previously received free licenses until 2020's controversial change. The BBC created global hits like Doctor Who and Planet Earth, yet also funded Splash, where celebrities learn diving. Non-payment can mean £1,000 fines or prison, though enforcement requires proving you watched live TV. Students need separate licenses per flat, causing widespread confusion. Younger generations increasingly avoid traditional TV, making the license's future precarious. Other countries fund public broadcasting through general taxation, but we prefer our bureaucratic tradition. Still with us? Brilliant. We're about to dive into some properly bonkers British traditions. If you're enjoying this peculiar tour through British eccentricity, give us a thumbs up and share this with anyone.
So here's my question. So here in the United States, we pick what provider we want, and then we just pay our cable bill. So that's what you pay on top of your cable bill, right?
I think that's what he was saying.
Why would you do that?
That's so weird. Yeah,
Like we have PBS and stuff like that. Nobody watches PBS, but I guess they do watch BBC because that's the actual network that broadcasts everything out.
yeah, but like we get those like channels free.
Yeah, but is BBC the actual broadcaster? Do they broadcast all the live TV?
Oh, maybe.
And what happens if you just don't? Because like modern times, you just have Netflix. Nobody really watches live TV anymore.
No.
So what do you do then? Do you just not watch? Do you just not pay it? And then you're in your legal right not to pay it if you're not watching live TV.
Right.
But I know every one of you watch the Gavin and Stacey Christmas special, so every one of you should be paying that bill. Don't lie to me. I know you did. That cost every one of you $150.
Who's ever wondered why we do the things we do? Christmas dinner involves explosive table decorations containing tissue crowns and terrible jokes. We spend £130 million annually on crackers containing worthless items. Tom Smith invented them in 1847 after seeing French bonbons. The crack comes from silver fulminate, literal explosives at dinner. Luxury crackers costing £1,000 exist, though jokes remain terrible. Crown-wearing breaks social hierarchies temporarily. Everyone looks equally ridiculous. Jokes follow Victorian formulas. What do you call a sleeping bull? A bulldozer. Protocol demands wearing crowns throughout dinner. As some families have generational cracker pulling techniques, yet Christmas without crackers feels incomplete.
I want one of those.
Pantomime remains our strangest theatrical tradition, where gender bending, audience participation, and terrible puns create Christmas entertainment. Men dress as women. Dames, women play male leads, principal boys, and audiences shout, "He's behind you," at predetermined moments. Based on fairy tales but bearing no resemblance to originals, they feature contemporary pop songs, political jokes, and local references. Z-list celebrities earn substantial fees. Former soap stars make £100,000 plus for 6 weeks of being pelted with foam and delivering innuendos that sail over children's heads while amusing parents.
I feel like that's
Pantomimes
like
generate £150 million annually, keeping many theatres financially viable. The format hasn't changed since Victorian times. Slapstick, sing-alongs, and someone dressed as a cow. Audience participation follows strict unwritten rules, booing villains, warning heroes, and shouting, "Oh no, it isn't." Christopher Biggins has played Dame in over 40 pantomimes. It's simultaneously awful and brilliant, which perfectly encapsulates British culture.
That would be fun.
Britain operates over 25,000 roundabouts, more per mile than anywhere globally. We've even created the magic roundabout in Swindon, 5 mini roundabouts around a 6th central one, requiring supernatural navigation skills. Milton Keynes alone has 130 roundabouts, becoming a national joke. The first modern roundabout appeared in Letchworth Garden City in 1909. They reduce fatal accidents by up to 75% compared to traditional intersections, so the obsession has logic. However, we've gone overboard installing roundabouts where they're completely unnecessary. Some literally have one entry and exit point. Roundabout sponsorship became bizarrely popular, with local businesses paying to landscape them. The Roundabout Appreciation Society, yes really, has 4,000 members who rate roundabouts aesthetically. Some feature elaborate sculptures, gardens, even archaeological ruins. The give way to the right rule confuses visitors from right driving countries. Despite mockery, roundabouts represent British problem solving. Complicated, indirect, but ultimately effective. Garden gnomes divide Britain like Brexit. Approximately 1 million British gardens contain gnomes, yet they're simultaneously beloved and despised.
That's a bit overdone.
Chelsea Flower Show banned them until 2013, deeming them inappropriate for serious horticulture. The Gnome Liberation Front has freed thousands, relocating them to woodlands. Traditional gnomes must have red hats, white beards, and cheerful expressions. Modern variations include zombie gnomes, football gnomes, and naughty gnomes.
There's an organization that brings the gnomes back to the forest. Listen, I got an imagination.
So wait, did they take them like out of people's yards and just go bring them?
This world can't last much longer.
Mooning passers-by. The psychology is fascinating. Gnomes represent rebellion against British emotional restraint, tiny anarchists in suburban gardens. Germany actually invented garden gnomes, but we perfected their kitsch appeal. Some streets have gnome wars, neighbours competing for most elaborate displays. Insurance companies report gnome theft claims averaging £1.5 million annually. The Royal Horticultural Society's gnome acceptance caused genuine controversy.
You know, there's a difference between like grand theft of like theft of property and theft just to mess with somebody. Like $1.5 million worth of theft of just messing with people. Because people did not look up and say, "I want that gnome for myself."
I think it would be fun though.
They walked by though and said, let's just take the gnome. That gnome is behind the Tesco's in a garbage can. Like that. I don't know, the first place that I would look if my gnome got stolen is in the garbage bin behind the Tesco's. Because that's probably where it's at.
Probably.
Or I don't know why this made me hate the world so much. This has nothing to do with Britain. But there's probably a group of people that's like PETA, that's got it in their idea that they need to be free.
Yeah.
So you probably just go behind a tree in the woods and there it is. Like I don't know, the world makes me mad.
Among members, gnome painting workshops exist as therapeutic activities. Whether you display gnomes allegedly indicates personality type, whimsical versus conventional. They're the Marmite of garden decoration. Rather than confronting directly, we communicate through sarcastic notes. To whoever keeps parking across my drive, I hope your day is as pleasant as you are, represents peak British conflict resolution. These achieve nothing except escalation. Favourites include, your music is so loud even the dead are complaining. Universities study this uniquely British phenomenon. Comic Sans adds extra passive aggression, laminating signals serious commitment. Office kitchens generate most notes about milk theft, microwave fish. One Bristol street had 3-year note wars. Psychologists suggest note writing provides emotional release without confrontation risk. Direct conversation would solve issues immediately, but where's the fun? Despite supermarkets selling milk cheaper, 1 million British households maintain doorstep delivery. We're paying premium prices for glass bottles delivered at 5 a.m. by increasingly rare milkmen. The tradition peaked in 1980 when 89% had deliveries. Now it's under 3%. Yet fierce loyalty remains among users. Glass bottles are reused 25 to 30 times, making them environmentally superior to plastic. The excitement of finding frozen milk in winter or semi-yogurt in summer adds adventure to breakfast.
Ew.
Blue tits learned to pierce foil tops in the 1920s, an evolutionary behaviour still observed. Electric milk floats remain Britain's most successful electric vehicle adoption. Milkmen know customers personally, sometimes for generations. They've saved lives finding collapsed elderly customers. The relationship transcends.
So you've not seen a milk thing here since what, the 50s?
I don't know.
That's not a non-existent thing anymore. But if I was in a place that I could have my milk delivered in the UK, I would 100% have my milk delivered.
Would you?
Just for the fun of it. I mean, it's like really old-fashioned.
I feel like it is really old-fashioned.
Like, I like that. Like, who's at your door? It's milk delivery. I feel like the guy just went to the cow and just shot it into a bottle and just brought it to your house.
Maybe.
It just seems like it's going to be fresher. There's probably a million reasons why it's not fresher.
Oh, yeah.
But it seems like it's going to be fresher.
Hey, tell us if you get your milk delivered.
You get your milk delivered.
Commerce. Milkmen receive Christmas tips averaging £20. Milk and More modernised with app ordering, yet maintains traditional dawn delivery. Some areas have waiting lists for milkmen. It's expensive nostalgia that somehow makes perfect sense. The optimal biscuit for tea dunking generates serious national debate. Scientists developed formulas calculating structural integrity versus absorption rates. The hobnob survives 8 seconds versus rich tea's pathetic 3 seconds. McVitie's employs dunkologists testing biscuit performance. We dunk 55 billion biscuits annually, losing approximately 740 million to catastrophic structural failure. The perfect dunk involves 45-degree angle, 2-second immersion, swift transfer to mouth. Chocolate-covered biscuits present additional complexity. Chocolate up or down. Regional preferences exist. Scotland favours shortbread, dangerous, crumbles immediately. While Yorkshire prefers ginger nuts, practically indestructible.
I know a kid in high school,
No.
and that was his nickname.
No.
Okay.
Office biscuit selection causes genuine workplace
He was
tension.
redheaded.
The communal biscuit tin represents complex social hierarchies. Who takes the last chocolate digestive? Some monsters dunk in coffee, sparking theological debates. University engineering departments conduct serious research on optimal dunking physics. Custard creams require surgical precision. Too long and filling dissolves. It's ridiculous how seriously we take biscuit structural engineering. Village cricket
I like Oreos and
epitomises
coffee.
British eccentricity, all-day sport where nothing happens yet taken seriously. Village greens host battles where accountants become weekend warriors defending little snoring against great boring. Tea at 3:30 p.m. precisely. Pavilions serve warm beer and stale sandwiches unchanged since 1953.
Killer.
Scoring involves Byzantine calculations understood by 3 people nationally. Silly mid-off is an actual position. Same families play for generations. Umpires are someone's uncle, ensuring controversial decisions. Kit unwashed since purchase. Bad luck. Cricket tea determines village reputation. Sledging remains polite.
Cricket's one of those games that like I've watched and like I feel like I almost got it figured out, and then they just do something. And then you're like, okay, now I'm lost again. Like, why did they do that? Like,
I don't get it at all.
well, I feel like he's supposed to knock over those 3 things,
Mm-hmm.
but at some point he just starts running. And I don't know where he's going. And there's something that sits on top of those 3 things. I don't know if that's what you're supposed to knock down. I don't know what makes a point. And it frustrates me really bad because I'm simple-minded and confusion makes me angry.
Rather agricultural shot, old chap. Despite declining participation, cricket defines summer Saturdays. Australia must never win the Ashes. Finally, we reach peak British madness. Cheese rolling. Every spring bank holiday, lunatics chase an 8-pound double Gloucester down Cooper's Hill, achieving speeds of 70 miles per hour. Injuries are guaranteed. The cheese is merely symbolic since nobody actually catches it. International competitors now participate, though locals dominate through generations of evolutionary advantage. We also excel at bog snorkeling, swimming through peat bogs, welly wanging, Wellington boot throwing, and shin kicking. Exactly what it sounds like. The World Gurning Championships involve making hideous faces through horse collars. Wife carrying, borrowed from Finland, includes special categories for substantial wives. These events generate surprising tourism revenue. Cheese rolling brings £2 million annually to Gloucester. Participants sign death waivers casually. Spectators exceed 5,000 despite official cancellations for safety reasons. Television rights get sold globally, spreading our insanity worldwide. It's organised stupidity elevated to cultural heritage. Other nations have sports. We have institutionalised madness with trophies.
Okay, I want to go see all of those.
Yeah, the shin kicking.
I want to see them all.
So, like, what happens if you do catch the cheese, Will? Do you get to keep it?
Do you eat it?
Well, obviously, if you got to keep it, you would eat it. But what I want to know if I'm chasing, if I make it down that hill, there's something's gonna come of it. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Like, are you giving a taste of the cheese as motivation for you?
I don't care. I want to see it. I want to see it, and I want to know who's participated in these events and who's watched them.
I don't know, man.
I think they sound great.
Yeah, I feel motivated to chase cheese down a hill. Like
I would so participate if I could.
Yeah. Like, what do you, like, I don't want a trophy for that. I ran down for the cheese.
I just want the cheese.
Just give me the cheese.
Red K6 telephone boxes should be extinct. Only 8,000 working boxes remain from 73,000 peak, yet we're preserving them. 2,000 are grade 2 listed.
Preserving them. We've seen them.
Yep. Yeah.
I don't know, somebody busted the window out of it.
Should we go to, yeah, let's not do that one.
You can't even go in that one. We'll find another one. It looks like they put a bunch of garbage in there. They're being preserved with pneumonia from the piss.
BT's Adopt a Kiosk scheme lets communities buy boxes for £1, transforming them into libraries, defibrillator stations, miniature nightclubs. Villages raise thousands maintaining unused boxes. Phone boxes generate 33 pence monthly average, yet removing them triggers protests. Tourist selfies remain obligatory. The red paint costs £300 per box. Some have faster broadband than houses. Hull's cream boxes cause identity crises. It's economically insane, but culturally essential. Preserving architecture nobody uses because it looks properly British.
The biggest difference between, I don't know if it's the biggest difference between our country and yours, but all I can think is you guys have invented everything. Video up here, you guys have invented everything, and your scientists are taking it easy right now. Just, they're like, what did you guys just invented the CAT scan machine. What are you doing now? And they're like, I'm gonna study that biscuit.
Yep.
Let's see which biscuit dissolves in tea the most. And then I'm gonna see the best way to make that tea.
Mm-hmm.
That was the most mind-blowing thing about that whole video, was how much science was involved in that. I appreciate it.
So I I just don't understand. How are you?
And nothing against this. No, go ahead.
How are you supposed to wash your hands?
What do you mean by you people?
Yeah, with warm water when one is cold and one is hot, because I turned them both on and this hand was freezing and this hand was hot and I was just going like, and it didn't work.
That's how a British person washes their hands. They're trying to slap
It
the
did not
water
work.
together and catch it.
It did not. I want to bring the cheese game here.
Or just buy some cheese.
No.
You want to chase it down a hill
I want to watch everyone else chase it down the hill.
while we eat the cheese?
Yes.
We're gonna have some cheese.
I'll wait
down
at the
here.
bottom and I'll get the cheese. And then I'll move.
There's a reason that our channel just needs to stay where it's at and not get big, because if we start getting money, we're just gonna start doing terrible things with this culture thing. We're just gonna
Really?
Yeah, we're gonna make Americans do awful things. All right, we're getting too evil. I am Rich.
And I'm Tiffany, but I cannot say that anymore with a straight face because
Yeah, somebody pointed that out.
somebody. And now it's like every time I say, and I'm Tiffany,
Yeah,
I want to say it, but I won't. You're not going to say it.
yeah, because she can't be tripping anymore because she broke her femur. Because now she is Tiffany already tripped, as pointed out by many of you.
And that's all I hear in my own head when he says, and I'm Rich tripping. And I said, I'm Tiffany. It's just I hear it every time now. It's ruined for me. Bye now.
That's the video. Great Britain and the UK share a lot of similarities. We both speak English.
You said Great Britain and the UK.
Oh. The United States and the UK have a lot of similarities. We both speak English. Mainly because we are originally a British colony.
Right.
So we do share a lot of things. But there's a lot of things that's different. I don't like that either because I only did one comparison. That was it. Americans and British people. No. 3, 2, 1.
Take 4.
Yeah.